Yeah, this is Wario's Woods, which is like my go-to time killer when I'm just like listening to podcasts or just listening to whatever in the background, new album, what have you. Yeah, I'll be listening to something while I'm playing Wario's Woods. This is a puzzle game, kind of an action-y puzzle game, in the vein of. Oh, okay. Apparently that crashed. Crashed RetroArch. Let's try that again. Are we good? Can we load it up this time? Oh yeah. I forgot that I jacked the audio way up for Sexy Parodius. Okay, are we the right resolution and everything? Oh, we're showing my mouse cursor. That's not a great thing. Yeah, let's not capture the cursor anymore. You know what it was? I think I was streaming like Mario Paint or something. Because, yeah, it doesn't even show the SNES mouse when you tell it not to capture the cursor. Okay, so this is a cool little game here. It's like one of the most complicated action puzzle games I think I've seen before. We'll start from rounds... Or actually, let's show off a few of the different game types. So difficulty settings don't really do anything. It just basically determines whether you start from the beginning of the game or start in the middle of the game. So it's basically a kind of a variant on match 3. So you want to line up these bombs horizontally, vertically, or diagonally with these critters here. If you clear more than 4 critters with a single bomb, you get one of these gems. You take out a gem that clears the whole color. You can also get chains, which will drop stuff on your opponent, but crystals are kind of the way to go if you want fast clears. If you destroy all of a single color, that color won't show up anymore, which is kind of the path to victory. You get a bunch of other kind of advanced maneuvers you can do too. So the basic, to explain the controls of the game, and this game has a lot of buttons. Again, most action puzzle games like this have very simple controls. This game uses every button on the controller, and even some button combinations. So you can run up the stack just by pressing towards it. So you see like this, I can go like that, I can drop down, run up, and that kind of thing. I can hit the B button to pull out a single monster from the stack, or I can hit the A button to lift the whole stack. And another thing I can do is I can hit Y to kick stuff out from the stack. So you got a lot of ways to manipulate objects in this game, which actually makes the game really easy once you master it. Oh, this game's got some good voice acting too. Some cool voice acting. Sweet, even. There's a version of this game on the NES, which is, or I guess on the Famicom. I don't know if it was released in the West or not, which is even crazier than the SNES version because you only got the 2 buttons, but you've still got all the different moves. It's just they're mapped to button combinations. So it's like, and actually a lot of those button combinations are in this game too, as kind of alternate ways to do the moves. So like if you hit down B, that'll kick something. So yeah, in addition to having all these different ways to manipulate the stacks of enemies, you've got different ways to do those different moves too. Anyways, the one problem I have with this game is I don't like the versus CPU mode, because it's best of 5. You've got to beat each CPU opponent 3 times, which makes it a really long game, and it's kind of repetitive. I don't think I'm going to do a full clear of versus com here, just because it takes a long time to get through all this. Like, you've basically got to play like 40 games of this to win. Can you change it in the settings? If so, I'll do that right now. Option. Record times, button select, name, sound. Yeah, I don't think you have any like proper options here. can change your control config a little bit. Yeah, it's kind of annoying and time-consuming. The game I really like to play is round game here. So you can see kind of what happens when you play the game beyond round 100. So 100 is kind of the maximum. You roll credits, and that's kind of the end of the game once you hit round 100. It starts off really easy here. Oh yeah, round game has better music too, in my opinion. Oh yeah, so the gimmick here is the faster you clear each level, the more coins you get, and coins will get you extra lives once you reach 50. These early levels are really, really easy. In fact, I'm not even going to bother with these. It's a good way to learn the basics of the game is to start out with round game. There's also a tutorial that explains the controls and some of the advanced moves. In fact, let's pick a level right out, like right near the end, because there's some advanced enemies that they appear sometimes in versus com mode, but mostly in this mode. This is just a basic level with the basic enemies. There are some enemies that take 2 consecutive bombs to destroy, and some enemies that can only be cleared with diagonals, some enemies that change color when you blow them up, so you've got to take them out twice. Kind of want to pick some of the late levels here so I can show some of those off. These last levels get really difficult too. Okay, so yeah, that's... Oh yeah, and so the structure of the game. So the game is divided into kind of a... Yeah, the Birdo cycle and the Wario cycle. Once that bar fills up, we're going to shift to Wario mode, which we haven't seen at all yet because I've been clearing the stages too fast. But yeah, in Birdo mode, only bombs drop from the top, and they drop at kind of a reasonable pace, not too overwhelming. Once we enter Wario mode, it starts dropping mostly enemies and only a few bombs, and he starts dropping stuff a lot faster. If you get chains of, like chain reactions of bombs, that'll basically manipulate the timer in your favor. So if you're in Wario mode and you get a chain like this, that'll advance the timer. And if you're in Birdo mode, that'll slow down the timer. So yeah, we had a quick Wario mode there because we managed to get that chain. And actually, the cycle between Birdo and Wario is what determines how many coins you get at the end of the stage. So we finished a Birdo and we finished a Wario, so we're not going to get a lot of coins here. I think you get like 30 coins if you manage to clear the stage without losing that first Birdo. Here we go. This is a new type of enemy. So these guys here are going to change color when I destroy them, which will actually not destroy them. We'll have to pop them with 2 bombs. Oh, there's my pink bomb. You got kind of the classic Tetris problem in this game sometimes, where you just kind of sit there waiting for that long piece, or the right color bomb, as it were. And that's kind of what's happening here. I get my gem once we get the right color in, just like that. Okay, this looks kind of bad, because we got a high stack going into Wario mode. Ooh, that was not good. On the later stages, Wario mode gets, like, really unfair, too. Like, you do not want this to last very long at all. Yep, he keeps bringing the thwomp down on you. And if it wasn't obvious, the way you lose the game is by having the whole field fill up with bullshit. Oh, that's not good. The best thing to do in this game is to eliminate an entire color, so that kind of simplifies the field and makes it easier to work with. so now, yeah, now we've eliminated blue, so we won't see blue anymore. Damn it. Missed the timing here. You do get... There's a lot of stuff going on in the game. I think it's mostly because all of the monsters are animated, so you actually get a fair bit of slowdown and input lag sometimes, which is pretty much the only problem I have with this game. It's the kind of puzzle game, though. Once you connect with it, you can just kind of zone out and, yeah, just listen to whatever while you're doing it. Kind of get in that flow state where you're just not even paying attention to what you're doing. Okay, these are the guys that you gotta clear twice quickly. So we're trying to line up a second blue bomb to take these guys out. If he can actually drop it for us. These guys are annoying because you end up waiting a long time sometimes to get what you need. Second yellow or a second dark blue would be great here. Please. I'll take that. Okay, so that sets him flashing. Now I gotta hit him again to make him disappear.
Cool.
And that sets off a chain. Which means that we will not be in Wario mode too soon. Oh, you know what? If I combine these together, yeah, we can get 5 in a row. Ooh, this is good for us. We might actually get, like, a full Birdo here. Like, clear the whole stage without swapping to Wario mode at this rate. I don't know, we need more chain reactions to make that happen. Which is not gonna happen with these bullshit colors. Well, that's lame. Now we're in a bit of trouble. That's so good when you can get a crystal for one of those double bomb guys. Okay, this should take these guys out as long as he doesn't drop light blue right away here.
Cool.
And that's the end of light blue. Anyways, I don't think I'm going to do a full clear of this mode either. What I kind of want to show off is the way that I usually play this game when I'm listening to stuff. So that's pretty much all the enemies. There's one more type of enemy, which is guys who can only be cleared by diagonal bomb lines. And there's our 1-up. If they don't show up here... Oh, hey, there they are. Yeah, just like a easy 1, 2, 3 demo of all the enemies in the game. These guys, I think, are actually the toughest to deal with. Or not the toughest in general, but the toughest to clear. Like, once you get down to the bottom of the stack, it becomes really difficult to line them up correctly. When you've got a high stack, you've got a lot of freedom to position the enemies any way you'd like. But once you get down to the bottom, it gets harder to set them up diagonally. Okay, if I could get a line of 5 here, that would be nice. Yeah, these guys are the worst. It's really hard to line them up to get your crystals, too. Get that 5 in a row.
Cool.
Yeah, that works out, I guess. Oh, if I can get that green down there before any more pop up. Oh yeah, they've got a helpful guide to the enemies over there on the left. Kind of explains symbolically the way to beat them. That flew right over my head the first time I played this game, though. It took me a long time to figure out how to clear out these diagonal blokes. We might actually take another Wario cycle to clear this one out. Yeah, see, this is kind of what happens. Okay, if I can get these guys, that'll be great. There we go.
Sweet.
Anyways, once you clear level 100, you destroy Wario's castle, roll credits and everything, but you can actually go beyond 100. And the levels start getting pretty ridiculous. They don't really give you the difficult enemies anymore. Instead, first off, they give you this sequence of kind of, I don't know, weird levels that spell out the letters in Wario. These ones are actually pretty easy because you get a bunch in a row. Beautiful. Oh, that works. Right, so the first few levels that you get after 100 are pretty easy. And then it just kind of cycles through a predetermined set of levels over and over and over again. So that was the O. Then you get like 5 levels after this. I think it's like a cycle of 20 levels that just repeats endlessly. And then eventually... But the counter still goes up. You can still keep doing stages up to 255, which is where it maxes out. This is what the 255 stages look like. No special enemies anymore, but you are stacked up this high right from the start, and the bombs are dropping like crazy, and it's actually really difficult. And this is the way that I like to play when I'm in the zone, listening to podcasts and stuff. I've gotten to the place... I've gotten this to the point where I can win these stages pretty consistently, but it's been a while, so maybe I won't be able to here. It does help that it's only the basic enemies in these stages, but you get stacked up pretty high, and this isn't even the nastiest variant that you can get. I think it cycles randomly through like 5 different level starting setups. Anyways, there's a lot of stuff to do in this game. There's also a like a time trial where you clear, I think it's like something like 15 sets of predetermined levels and try to do them as fast as you can. Oh, that was lame. I hate that when you're about to clear a color and it suddenly drops another one of that same color. We were so close to clearing this one before Wario showed up.
Sweet.
Anyways, this is a good kind of chill out and talk to people type game for streaming. I don't think it's that interesting for... I don't know, maybe if I were doing like I had a discussion topic or something I just wanted to go off on. Because this game requires no focus for me whatsoever. This is basically autopilot. I actually did have a list of discussion topics for Parodius, but I never got around to them, because that game does require intense focus, as do shmups in general. Actually, yeah, that was one of the discussion topics that I had on my list, actually. And actually, so I think the best way to present a shmup in any type of like, you know, Let's Play or stream type format, there's actually a YouTube channel called Unexpected Genre Shift, who I think does a really good job. He does, like, basically text overlays, so he provides his commentary via text. Like little text boxes that... little inobtrusive text boxes that pop up over the course of the game. And it's, of course, pre-recorded playthrough as well, so he's, like, skilled at the games and shows them off really well. I really do think you need to be good at shmups to show them off properly and do them justice. I guess that's true of a lot of games, but I think particularly true of shmups. It's just not... It doesn't look fun to see someone fumble their way through a shmup and just credit feed their way through. This game, I have no idea what it's like to watch. Probably not all that fun. But it makes it easy for me to talk about stuff playing a game like this that I don't have to focus on. Another discussion topic today that I never got around to was just how frickin' hot it is in my apartment the last couple days. I've been complaining about the weather on stream here, like, for the last several weeks. It's been cold as balls up here. And then all of a sudden, it just completely turned around. I don't know, global warming or something? Which would sound like a good thing, except in my apartment, it is now hot as balls, so just whatever the weather, whatever temperature, I just cannot get away from balls level temperature, no matter what. Whether it's hot or cold. I had something else I could potentially talk about, but I forget what it was. Or do I have it written down? I don't think I wrote it down. Whatever. Anyways, for completion's sake, I'm gonna finish this level, and then I think we'll be done, and I'll move on to another one. Oh, that was an unfortunate drop right there. Oh, this might be the end. Oh yeah, I never explained this egg. The egg is basically like a ticking time bomb. If you do not lift it and put it down, it will spawn a bunch of enemies on your ass, and you probably lose the level at this point. Yep, so much for me and my decent skill at this game. I am actually... Turns out I'm secretly horrible at this game. Or I guess it's no secret anymore. Anyways, another cool little puzzle game. Actually, this is not anything super unique or exciting. This is just Tetris Attack. The original version of Tetris Attack. Before it was Tetris Attack, it was Panel de Pon, and it was fairies instead of Yoshi's Island characters. I actually like this aesthetic a lot more than I like Yoshi's Island. Apparently there was also a GameCube version of this game released alongside Pokemon Puzzle League in Japan, which has a bunch of cool extra features that I think didn't make it to Pokemon Puzzle League, or at least a bunch of extra characters. Anyways, this is another kind of zone-out game that I don't really need to think about. We'll just do a quick run of Super Hard here. Oh yeah, there's a couple neat little details in this version of the game that make it subtly different from Tetris Attack, which actually I think makes it a better zone-out type game than Tetris Attack. Main thing is that the AI in this game is it's not better, but it's a lot more defensive. You can kind of cheese the AI in Tetris Attack and win very, very easily. Whereas the AI in this game is very defensive. It's actually kind of hard to deliver knockout punches to some of the later enemies. Like, the final boss could actually survive an attack like this and keep going for quite some time. Incidentally, I'm not great at this game anymore. I used to play it, not exactly competitively, because I wasn't part of a community or anything, but I did work hard on time attack mode to try to get my score up there. They've done speedruns of this game at AGDQ, or not this game, but of Tetris Attack. Only they did, like, the most stupid format, I think, possible for speedruns. They actually do this mode, the versus computer mode, which I think is the worst possible one to do for speedruns, because there's almost no skill involved. I mean, there's skill, but, like, once you're maximally skillful at this game, the speedrun of versus com is entirely based on just RNG, as far as whether the AI wants to be smart or not. If you get smart AI, then they just survive forever, and it takes forever to clear the game. And if you get stupid AI, then they die in 10 seconds, and it's easy. Oh yeah, that's so Tetris Attack is the better game overall. between Panel de Pon and Tetris Attack, just because it adds a bunch of extra features and it has that stronger AI. The biggest feature that Tetris Attack added was the CPU switch, where you can basically replace either player with the CPU, and you can actually get the CPU to play through the single player modes for you. You don't get endings if you do it that way. But yeah, you can just set like calm versus calm and just watch them go and see how they play. One of my favorite time-wasting challenges for this particular version of the game is to go play against the final boss, and I challenge myself to do no chains at all. Try to beat the final boss without doing any chains, combos only. It's actually rather challenging. I've like gone up against the final boss for like a solid 6-7 minutes and not been able to knock her down. And the difficulty level and the speed does gradually increase the longer you fight against each enemy. Oh, seriously? You didn't know about CPU switch in Tetris Attack? Oh, that is a cool feature. In fact, I'm going to have to show that off after this. Actually, some of these characters appear in the Smash Bros. Game, too. I think Lip, the main character, appears as like an assist trophy, and actually her little staff, her little pedal staff, is an item, I think, in Smash Bros., which is kind of an obscure cameo there, but that's kind of what Smash Bros. Is all about. I wish she would appear as a playable character, even though that's never gonna happen. Actually, if you're speedrunning this game, if for whatever reason you wanted to speedrun versus calm, the fastest way through is actually not to build to 13 every time. You can beat them faster just by doing, at least these early matches, you can beat them faster by just doing a bunch of combos. Like, yeah, it doesn't take a lot of garbage to knock them out at this stage in the game. At least in Tetris Attack. In Panel de Pon, the AI is a bit smarter and more defensive, so then you do kind of need to go big to take them out. 13, by the way, is the magic number in this game. Remuko, if you played this game any amount, you probably know that. But yeah, chaining beyond 13 gives you no benefit whatsoever, which is why you'll often see me talk. You'll hear me talk about chaining to 13. Yeah, every chain beyond the 13th is just a waste of time. In the score attack modes, you get 0 points for it, and in the garbage modes, it doesn't increase the size of your block at all. And it doesn't even keep track of it on screen either. It just says question mark for the chain tally on screen. You actually do have to get really good at this game to get the best ending in versus calm, though. Because you actually do need to get like a perfect run to get the best ending. It's got kind of a weird system. Or I guess this applies to both Tetris Attack and Panel de Pon. Where basically to get the best ending, you need to go through the game and not lose with your main character. Now, you can only use your main character for the first 8 stages, but once you get to the final 4 bosses, then you get the option to switch characters. So you basically need to do the first 8 stages undefeated, and the last 4 stages without getting your main character defeated, or without running out of characters, essentially. But it also turns out that all of the side characters have additional dialogue in the ending, and if they die in the final 4 stages, then you don't get to hear them. So to actually get the full and complete ending with all of the dialogue, you actually do need to clear the whole game without getting defeated at all, ever. Which, you know, is kind of trivial for me now, but that's because I spent a long time working on it as a kid. I actually did own Tetris Attack as a kid, by the way. I played it back then pretty much about as much as I do now, which is like all the time. Mermaid. You know, this music here seems... It's weird how the music in this game actually seems more appropriate for a lot of the Tetris Attack... Oh, no. A lot of the Tetris Attack characters than it does for the little fairy characters. Like, I don't know what it is. I feel like Lunge Fish... Like, the music in this stage is just more appropriate for Lunge Fish than it is for this cute little mermaid. Oh, and hey, just like that, we got question mark. We got question mark level chains. I think that's the first time I've pulled it off here. Oh yeah, I didn't have any friends back in the day, so yeah, thankfully I only had to, I only ever had to play against the computer. I had some friends in college who apparently played this game a bunch with each other, but I never had the opportunity to sit down and school them. I don't know, maybe they were better at the game than they let on. From what I picked up in conversation, though, like an 8-chain was amazing for them. Though they were both way, way better than me at DDR, which was the main way we were friends, so it kind of evens out. Actually, this isn't even my favorite, like, time-wasting way to play this game. My favorite way to play this game is on endless mode, on normal or hard difficulty, because then you add in the dark blue panels and it gets a lot harder to make chains. And honestly, this isn't even the definitive version of the game. I think the Game Boy Advance version, Puzzle League and Dr. Mario, is actually the best version of Tetris Attack. Because there's a bunch of different versions now. There's the original one on SNES, there's Pokemon Puzzle League, there's Dr. Mario and Puzzle League, there's Planet Puzzle League, I think it is, on DS, which is actually a reasonable version of the game. There's a lot of extra features on there that are really cool. Problem is that it's really slow. Like, the fastest setting in Planet Puzzle League is slower than the slowest setting in Tetris Attack, and I really don't like that. There is no way to speed it up to my liking. And that's kind of a concession to the stylus controls, which can't really go as fast as you need to. Yeah, Puzzle League and Dr. Mario, though, is surprisingly robustly featured. It doesn't have the pizzazz of the other versions of the game. Like, there's no theme. Like, it's just boring, like, menus and shapes and generic stuff. There's no characters or different types of music and stuff. It doesn't have, like, the nice little sheen of a Tetris Attack or a Pokemon Puzzle League. It is just bare bones aesthetics, but very, very fully featured. Ridiculous amount of options in the Game Boy Advance Puzzle League. So that's the definitive version of the game, in my opinion. Oh, incidentally, Ice Fairy here is my favorite, if you couldn't tell. She has the cutest voice, and also she kind of matches up with Bumpty, who was my favorite character from Tetris Attack. I think the neatest thing for Panel de Pon for me, apart from the graphics, yeah, seeing all these new bosses is actually pretty cool. The level graphics for this stage are actually based on, or they took this and kind of used it for the Bowser final fight in Tetris Attack. There's actually a bunch of level graphics. Like, even apart from the characters, there's a bunch of level graphics that got changed for Tetris Attack. I think Tetris Attack had the same generic stage backgrounds for all of the final bosses, whereas this one actually has a different layout for each of the final bosses. Like, you can see this one's got kind of the metallic dragon theme going on. We'll have kind of a universe theme going on for the next bad guy. And different music for some of the later stages, too, as we'll see. If you're a Tetris Attack fan, I think you should. I seriously think you should check out Puzzle League and Dr. Mario on GBA. There's a ridiculously great set of features. My favorite one is Lift Mode, where it basically removes the limitation where it basically sets it up so that you can continue to hold down L and R to lift the stack while you're clearing stuff, so you can effectively chain infinitely, and it's ridiculous. And you can toggle that on or off. So you can play in original version, or you can play in infinite lift mode, where you can just keep raising the stack as you're making clears. It has a time attack version of like the stage clear mode, where you take it down to the line. It even has a competitive version of that, which is great. So many great features in that game. I just love it. And you can hear we've got Bowser music for this fight here, because the final boss, or the final fight in this game, is actually a little bit different than the one from Tetris Attack. Well, this is going well. This guy's sound effect is so weird, too, when he drops stuff on you. So I think he's fucked now. I mean, I think it's fine. Yeah, this is the better Bowser music for sure. I kind of missed the fact that they didn't use the final boss theme in this game at all, though. Like, they kind of did. You can hear it right before the Bowser fight. It's actually kind of weird, yeah. In fact, I'll let this play out. Because, yeah, the music before the final boss is what they use for before the final boss fight, but they don't use it... yeah, they use that music we just heard for the actual Bowser fight. So it still plays this, like, organ theme before the Bowser fight, but then it uses the music we just heard. Oh, so this is a pretty badass theme. It's a shame it didn't make it into Tetris Attack. I mean, I guess if you just leave it on this screen long enough, you'll get to hear the whole thing. But yeah, if you just go right into the battle, you'll miss out on a lot of it, because there's like a whole long composition here that there's no reason to ever hear in Tetris Attack. Also, so yeah, this ends up being the battle theme for the final boss also. Which means that it actually has its own danger theme, which does not appear in Tetris Attack at all. This music right here is not in Tetris Attack at all. I don't even think it's on the sound test. Maybe it is, I don't remember. Certainly can't hear it in the game, though. But yeah, you can see how she's not... Yeah, this is still super hard difficulty, and she's not nearly as threatening as Bowser. Like, Bowser can drop, like, 8 times chains on you in Tetris Attack, whereas... Like, can this bitch even chain? Do you even chain, bro? Oh, there's all kinds of dumb tricks you can do to get chains in this game, too. I should try to show some of them off. You can see what I mean about her being really defensive, too. Bowser would have died to all of this stuff I've dropped down so far. Okay, I want to try to set up my favorite chain trick. Okay. Ah! Damn it! So there's all kinds of crazy tricks you can do to make chains in this game, where you basically like pluck panels out of midair as they're falling down. There's some really neat, like there's some simple ones you've seen me doing, but I think my favorite one, which I'm gonna try to set up Damn it! I've lost the timing. I don't have the touch anymore. Oh well. So there's a dumb trick you could do where you can pull panels out of midair as they're falling down, and if you pull them into another segment of a combo, that'll like trigger a chain. So like if I pull one out of midair into a match, that counts as a chain. And furthermore, in midair still counts as like, I'll have to show it off. It's tough to describe. I'll have to show it off. And I guess you'd have to watch very carefully because someone who doesn't know the game probably wouldn't be able to follow it. Yatta! And yeah, we got that, with no deaths, so we get the full ending, although I don't really care because I've seen this a billion times. In fact, do we have a soft reset here? No? That's fine. I'll just do the hard reset. I'm going to see if I can show this off because it's such a dumb way to get chains. I love it. It's difficult, but it's just to see it in action, it's stupid. So this is endless mode. If you go on normal, you get the dark blue blocks, which is the way I like to play, but we'll go on easy here just to make it easier to line things up. Oh yeah, and as far as my favorite stages, I either go green or black, just because they have the most relaxing music and the most relaxing color scheme. I know a lot of people like Yoshi and Blarg, but the color scheme is a bit garish for my liking. I don't like the yellow, I don't like the red. Yeah, just to do it, yeah. I'm assuming it didn't take you 10 hours to max out. That's the thing. That's the competitive thing you do in endless mode, is how long does it take you to max out. I think I've done it in like 6 or 7 minutes. If you're super good at the game, you can do it in like 4 or 5. Damn it. Actually, let's see if we can do it this way. Oh, I just don't have it. I've entirely lost the magic. I'm missing all of these pull him out of the air tricks. Okay, let's try this one at least. Let's actually pull it. Man, I suck at this game, guys. There! Nope. Nope, that wasn't it. There it is. Pulled it right out of midair. Ah. Basically, and you can do that trick where you swap something in right as it's about to land and it still works. And it's kind of stupid because you're just making a match on the ground, but it still counts as a chain. There's never any there's seldom any good reason to do that when you're actually playing your hardest, though. Generally, you pre-plan things so that you don't have to do dumb tricks like that. Right there, I could have made a match if I'd have timed that better. Let's see if we can do this. Damn it. Yep, I don't have it anymore. Always early, like way early, every time. You know, I think it might be because I'm used to playing on normal. You know what? I think Raphael Raven had the most annoying sound effect for chains, too. Let's see if I do this any better on normal. Normal adds the extra color, and it makes the panels explode and drop faster, so you have to be way faster to make chains. How are we going to set this up? Let's do it like this. A bit closer that time. There we go. A little bit closer that time. Anyways, this is just me and my stupid vanity bullshit here. That's enough of this. I'm going to quickly show off the Tetris Attack. Oh, there it is. Convenient. Tetris Attack CPU switch, because it's just kind of funny to watch. Just watch the game play itself. Yeah, so you go to option here. Oops, hit the wrong button. Actually, I used to play this game with my mom sometimes, but very rarely. She was actually decent at it, but yeah, it wasn't exactly a fair match or anything. So yeah, you go to CPU switch here. So this toggles on. Basically, this means that yeah, the CPU will now sub in for player 1 or for player 2. So you can turn it on player 2 and have matches again, and you can go into 2-player mode, and the CPU will take over to player 2. And that was my only friend my only friend I could compete hard at Tetris Attack against back in the day. And you can set the CPU level, which is how tough they are. CPU level 7 is actually tougher than super hard Bowser. But it works outside of 2-player mode also. So if we set CPU switch to on, CPU level 7, and we go into the single player modes, actually let's do time trial. It doesn't work for puzzle mode, obviously, but yeah, sure, let's see if this guy's any good. I'm pretty sure this works. Yeah, I'm not pressing any. Hands free, guys. Hands free. This is the computer doing everything right here. And so yeah, we can see how high the CPU can get in Time Attack on the hardest difficulty setting. I can already tell he's a lot worse than me. A lot worse. I don't know about that. So Tetris requires a lot more thought and planning than Tetris Attack. And I guess the faster, I guess the modern versions of Tetris get faster too. But like compared to versions of Tetris at the time, like this was long before like Terror Instinct and all of that nonsense. Or maybe it wasn't. When was Tetris Grandmaster and Terror Instinct and all of that stuff? Anyways, maybe it was around the same time as this. Anyways, the Tetrises you could get on the Nintendo consoles, like the SNES and stuff, were way, way slower than this game. This game goes lightning fast. It's more about fast decision-making, very quick reflexes, than it is actual puzzling. Yeah, this guy sucks. Freaking not even gonna break 10,000. Okay, that was 98? Okay. Yeah, it's called Tetris Grandmaster. I just like to call it Terror Instinct, which I think was the second game in the series. Because that's just a more fun name than Tetris Grandmaster. But yeah, the CPU switch is actually more than good enough to beat any of the single-player modes. Although you don't get an ending, so there's not really any point. I would sometimes just, like, watch it just to see how it did. Yeah, even on the single-player modes, I would kind of compete against the CPU switch. It's just like, oh, that's how quickly you can do it? I bet you I can do it faster. Actually, I think the CPU switch is pretty good at stage clear. It might be about as good as me at stage clear mode. No, it's not. No, you need a completely different playstyle for stage clear. It's reasonable, actually. Yeah, because it manages to do these parallel chains, which actually clears the stack really quickly. Anyways, yeah, nuts to this. So that's Tetris Attack and the CPU switch, which is the main feature, I think, that puts it ahead of Panel de Pawn. Was there anything else I wanted to show off? I'd probably do another SNES game. I don't know. Yeah, I don't have any of them in the sort of recently played list, and it's going to be a pain to dig it out of the full list of SNES ROMs I've got. Oh yeah. Ball turns off the stop feature, where it would like freeze the stack if you get a combo or chain when it's close to the top. Yeah, that does make the game quite a bit harder, although it's not too difficult to master ball mode either. Actually, you know what? Do I still have Go Go Ackman on here? If I do, I'll show that off. I lost my entire ROM collection a long time ago, though, and I don't know that I got that one back. Looks like I don't have it. That's a shame. Oh, you know what? One of the other games from back in those days, where is it? What was it called? It started with an M. I'll know it when I see it. It started with an M. This guy right here, Majyuuou. Not for SNES. I have it for NES, and I think that's it. It's a pain in the ass to navigate complete ROM sets, to be honest. So this game's fucking rad. It has an English translation now, but it didn't back when I first played it. Actually, I think this might be the untranslated version. I'm not going to do a full playthrough, but yeah, this game's really cool. It's called, yeah, Majyuuou, which apparently translates to like King of Demons or something. Okay, yeah, we're the Japanese version. This is an action game. You do not need to know anything about the story or dialogue whatsoever. Although it is kind of interesting. I was impressed with the level of story here. Well, this game's bullshit. I was impressed with kind of the level of story going on here for this simple kind of game when I saw the English translation years later. So yeah, you got a charge attack, or you can just go like that. I think, yeah, you got a double jump, and I think there's some, yeah, and then you got a down kick also. Yeah, so if you see the full story in English, or maybe you speak Japanese, I don't know. Yeah, is what that demon thing there just killed his wife and daughter, I think was it, and then killed him too. But then their, I don't know, power of love or something revived him in like turbo-powered zombie form or something. So yeah, now he's out for revenge. Oh, it's chasing me. Oh yeah, there's a hard mode on this game. I only discovered it years later, actually. Apparently, if you press select on the title screen, it takes you to an options screen, and there's a hard mode. This game's actually really easy on normal, but it's really, really hard on hard. I don't think I've actually beaten it on hard. Maybe that could be a stream some other time. Play through Majyuuou on hard. I'm not going to do a full playthrough right now, but there is one. I want to play far enough to show off one cool feature of this game. Do you guys know this one? I know it got a lot of buzz back when it first got its English translation. I think this was an Aeon Genesis project. So this was circulating around the internet at around that time, although I was into it before it was cool and in English. Oh, there's a lot of hard, like super, like what's the phrase they use? It's metal. This game is metal as fuck. I think I'm using that phrase correctly. Yeah, I should do a playthrough of this game on hard mode sometime, because hard mode's really difficult. And this game has, oh yeah, there's a bunch of cool features in this game too. It's got, the control scheme is actually really solid. You've got this dodge roll, you got a charge shot, you got a down kick, which I keep messing up. It's got good music. Ooh. I mean, the music's not great, but it's cool. Damn it. Oh yeah, so this fairy here is kind of like an option type thing. After you shoot, she'll go forward. So I'm supposed to roll out of the way of that. Yeah, you got a double jump, down kick, option fairy. She'll also revive you if you die. So you'll lose her, but you get revived without losing a life. It does kind of sound like a Genesis game now that you mention it. Oh yeah, the volume seems a bit quiet. Just turn it up a hair. Yeah, it really, the explosions especially have that, yeah, kind of Genesis-y quality to it. The kind of fart explosions. A Genesis signature. Tons of cool bosses and stuff too, just the enemy designs are super awesome. And here's a key for coming in. Sure could use some health right about now. Well, there's a health extension. No, this is a Super Nintendo game. Which is weird because actually there's... This game would work just fine on a 3-button controller. There's actually only 2 buttons in this game, as far as I know. Yeah, the other buttons don't do anything, you just jump and shoot. This game would work fine on the Genesis, but no, this is a SNES game. Oh god. Keep getting them level ups. Oh, I'm not even seeing the emotes anymore. I'm, yeah, again, just watching in Twitch chat. Okay, so this is the really cool feature of this game. So after you beat the boss, it drops one of these gems. You can just leave it there, and nothing will change. Or you can wait, whatever color you wait for, basically. You can get the gem, and then you'll turn into one of 3 different kinds of demons. And then that'll completely change your move set. Or it doesn't completely change it. You still got a dash and a double jump and a charge shot and all that, but they work a little bit differently depending on what kind of demon you are. And so you have a few opportunities to... Basically, after every boss fight, you've got a chance to change to a different demon form. Oh, speaking of how fucking metal this game is, I took out the fairy spawner too early last time, but no, I've got to show this off. This is hardcore. Yeah, so this one's got kind of a side dash. Okay, this thing right here. Come on, there you go. This is a little fairy spawner. You can kill the fairies, they die, then you hit down, and you can eat them for health. Like I said, fucking metal. It only spits out so many, though, so you can't farm them for health forever. Some of the eating animations of the other demons are pretty grody, too. Oh, this thing has an awesome charge shot, too. Oops, I took out the fairy spawner too soon. Oops, now I gotta take it out before she disappears. I mean, it's fine for... I mean, Genesis can't have all the good games. It's fine for the SNES to get a few here and there. Man, at the rate I'm going, I'm gonna end up playing through this whole stupid game. It's really cool. I was like, I'm shocked that this... Well, first of all, I guess it's kind of obvious to see how it wouldn't have gotten a North American release. It's a little bit too hardcore, I think, with just the demons and the eating of fairies with the blood spurting out and everything. So it's pretty easy to see why a game like this wouldn't get a North American release. Surprised it doesn't have more of a cult... Even so, I'm surprised it doesn't have more of a cult following online. This is like this is legitimately, I think, one of the best games of the era. Like, if this had been released in North America, it would be like a full-blown classic. Certainly cult classic at the very least, if not like a full-blown, like, well-regarded masterpiece and everything. Oh yeah, I guess I'm invincible if I dash. Oh, hey there, Jadis. I mean, Fairy Friend is actually our wife, like, reincarnated in fairy form. So she's not like a real fairy, so I think she's cool with it. Also, we're, like, out to avenge her death and stuff, so I think she's, you know, ready to do what needs done. This boss is kind of annoying. I remember there being a few kind of shitty bosses in this game. That one was alright, but there are a few shitty ones. So yeah, apparently we're just playing this entire game now. We're not, although we could. It's not very long. Keep taking out these fairy nests, even though I need the health. Nom. Yeah, I think each one spawns at most 2 fairies. Actually, there's one kind of grody bit that in the next stage that I kind of want to show off. Maybe we'll show that off and then be done. I don't think this is even the real boss of the stage either. This boss is kind of stupid. It does more than this. It's got a second form, which is also kind of stupid. It's also got a third phase, which is also kind of stupid. It's cool looking, though. Always enjoy this Mode 7 stuff. Here he goes. Boing! Boing! See, this is how you know we're on SNES. It's because of that Mode 7 sprite rotation. See, this is the shit that Genesis don't. I can't think of a clever way to make that flow better. Genesis, Genesaint? I don't know. But let's go faster if I charge. I guess we're done. I think we move right into the actual boss after this, too. Yep, there it is. Oh, dang it. Oh yeah, also, yeah, another naked girl. A lot of naked girls on today's stream. I really hope we don't get banned. Let's do the red demon. I forget what the green one looks like. Oh yeah, red demon is just like a almost kind of humanoid. And the demon transformations are optional too. If you want to, you can go through the whole game without taking a demon transformation. There's not really any benefit since your main human form is kind of weak and stupid. I think you might get an extra ending if you... Oh, that's unfortunate. I'm not a fan of that sound effect right there. That's fine, we'll use charge attacks. Wow, there's even more boss fights in this game than I remembered. Oops. Oh cool, we got a screen clearing bomb. Okay, there's a cool... not exactly cool, but a surprising thing that happens in this stage that I don't know, I found it somewhat disturbing, actually, the first time I came across it, but we'll see what you guys think. Oops. So that right there was kind of disturbing. I fell under the wheels of a train. Hope we don't have... Okay, looks like we won't have to redo that fight. I don't think you have the option to turn back into human form. Once you've taken your first transformation, if you forego future demon crystals, then you just keep your present transformation. You get the... So the way to get the... Fucking hell. The way to get the best ending is actually to do all 3 demon transformations. As long as you use each demon form at least once over the course of the game, then you get the best ending. And you get an ultimate... Or, I shouldn't say that. You get the opportunity to take an ultimate transformation for the final stage, and then if you use that, then you get the best ending. The bad ending is also pretty hardcore. Like, as bad endings go, it's, yeah, up there with some of the worst bad endings I think I've seen. This fucking guy. Actually, let's just ferry him to death. I'm tired of this shit. There he goes. Oh yeah, these skeleton torsos are actually, like, the same graphic as that mid-boss we fought earlier. Never noticed that before. Jesus Christ. I do not remember this game being very difficult at all. Oh wow, we're all the way back here too. No fucking checkpoints. Okay, let's stop playing stupid then. Okay, that's the way you're meant to do it. Yeah, charge shots are the way to go here, and they're less annoying to listen to anyways. Oh, for fuck's sake! Oh, God! Oh, we got our 1-up at least. I honestly don't remember this game being very difficult at all. I'm pretty sure I 1cc'd this one, like my first time playing it. Mind you, you get 1-ups pretty regularly. Like, it doesn't take a lot of points to get a 1-up. Okay, you got a little bit of... It's almost kind of Castlevania style jumping. You have a little bit of mid-air control, but not a ton. Like, yeah, once you've set your jump path, you're kind of set. I like how he's got, like, the little shells coming out of his arm there. So, okay, I guess it's just a screen clear. Ooh, that was close. I think I would have actually died there. Man, I'm gonna play to the end of the stage and we're gonna be like halfway through the game and I won't be able to stop myself from finishing it. Nah, I'll do the full playthrough some other time on hard mode just because it's just way cooler on hard mode. More enemies, enemies do crazier stuff, you take more damage. Hard mode's really hard. Oh no! There's a kidnapped girl. We gotta rescue her. Oh, never mind. She's just gonna get fucking maced to death and scream. Yeah, there's no way to save her or anything. You just have to watch those horsemen flay her to death. Flog her to death, I guess. So that's fucked up. I don't know, I found that really disturbing the first time I saw that. Yeah, this looks like something out of... I don't know what exactly. Something out of some other game I've played that I can't remember. Oh, we don't even get a gem at the end of that one either. Anyways, so that's enough of Majyuuou. And yeah, there's the title again, if the spelling of it, if any of you guys want to look that one up. Is there anything else cool we can check out quickly? It would have to be very quickly. I should probably just get a full ROM set. There's probably some other games I used to have on here that I don't have anymore. That I should have. Dragon View's a cool one. Yeah, there's a lot of cool semi-obscure shit in here. I'll have to show. Oh, you know what? If Saturn Meteor were here, I would show off Gourmet Sentai, but Goof Troop's a surprisingly good one. If you guys don't, I think it's been run at AGDQ a couple times before. Oh, Violinist. Okay, this is another one. This is another one. This is the last one I think I'll show off for the night, but this is another one that I discovered in that same kind of time period where I first got into emulation and was checking out a bunch of Japanese games. Again, first played it, or it was Hameln. I think it's reasonably well known now that it's had its English translation patch. But yeah, this is actually a really cool little puzzle platformer. It's based on a manga and anime series, which I actually subsequently became a bit of a fan of back in the day. Oh, it looks like this is the translated version too. So yeah, I didn't play the I played it in Japanese my first time through, but it's mostly an action, or mostly just a platformer. So there's not. You can play through it in Japanese if you need to, but you don't need to anymore because it's been translated. Yeah, so I subsequently checked out the Violinist of Hameln anime series, which actually kind of sucks. But there's a manga which is like completely different in tone and style. It's like almost like it's got the same basic story, but just the tone is very different. Yeah, the Hameln manga is like crazy, like madcap, like slapstick comedy, essentially. Whereas the anime is like all serious and dramatic, and there's almost no comedy at all. And the game here takes more after the manga, which I appreciate. Yeah, like so. And so begins their partnership. Oh yeah, this is another game that uses a lot of classical music for its soundtrack. Although here it's kind of appropriate since that's kind of the whole thing with this series. Okay, so our main character here is Hameln, that is Flute, and she will be our companion over the course of the game, kind of our main puzzle-solving instrument. Yeah, she's going to be our assistant. Wonderful, beautiful little French, and yes, thus begins... This is the start of a beautiful friendship, as they say. So we'll do the first stage here. So it's got a bit of action and also a bit of puzzle in it. So you do just kind of shoot enemies. It's really loud and crackly. I think that's honestly just the way the game is. I always remember it being like that. And it's a bit of a shame. Yeah, so you can pick stuff up and throw it, which is one of the things that you'll use to solve puzzles. You can kind of aim your musical notes, but I've never figured out how to do it consistently. So Flute kind of follows you around too. She's not going to do anything just yet, although you do need to bring her to the level exit to finish the levels. You can also toggle, so you can see that Blackbird is just kind of flying around. He basically indicates what mode Flute is in, so we put it on call mode, and she follows us, or we can have her stand still, and we can use her as a stepping stone to get up to high places. So that's one of the things she's good for, is to stand on her head to get places. And she gets all cute and adorable, lifting us up there. Both cute and adorable, yes. And we got the ostrich costume. What are we going to do with that? So the kind of the distinguishing feature of this game is the costume system. You get all these different costumes and put them on Flute, and she gets various properties that'll let you do stuff. The ostrich is good for walking across spikes. Oh, and also, if you don't want to bother using cannonballs and throwing those at stuff, you can also throw Flute at stuff. And that's pretty fun. Throw her... Okay, we missed the enemy there, but you can throw her at enemies too. And again, this is entirely in keeping with the tone of the anime, because that's kind of the whole point of the anime, is that... Or not the anime, sorry, the manga. Is that Hameln is an abusive asshole who takes advantage of everyone. So, yeah, he's a complete jerk, and they had... It's just a great little bit... Like, this is a great adaptation, I think. You don't need to read the manga or anything to appreciate the game. It works perfectly fine on its own merits, but if you actually do go back and read the manga, you kind of come to appreciate what a great adaptation this is, and just what a great job they did with the concept in kind of relating the basic story and the characters and all that. Oh yeah, you can just hit the call button to also have her undisguise. Oops. Okay, so there's kind of a couple secret moves you can do. I think I forget them though. After you beat the game, it kind of shows you a demo on how to do a couple secret moves. One of them is just like the straight ahead throw. Normally you lob her like that, but if you do a Hadoken move, you can get a nice throw like that. You can also get this crazy martial arts move where she'll like do a flying kick around the screen and just like go bouncing all over the place. It's kind of like cheat mode because you can trivialize all of the enemies in the game with that move, but I can't remember how to do it. I will someday do a full playthrough of this game on stream because it's really cool and worth showing off. But yeah, this was the other... Oh yeah, and she also has her own health bar too. It's not a big deal. She can't die or anything, but once she's out of health, then future hits will cause her to drop coins. And coins are actually useful. You need them to buy certain items for story progression and extra moves and stuff. Is there a faster way to swap in? I don't think there is. You gotta go to the costume screen every time. And yeah, just sort of like, I don't know, silly crying faces and stuff whenever you put a costume on her. It's just great. I mean, this is basically a game about an abusive relationship. The best of its kind, really. Oh, was I supposed to keep her on screen while she goes through there? Oh, or, no, I forgot to call her. There we go. So we got a frog costume now. There are also hidden costumes in this game too, so yeah. Some of those powerful costumes in the game you won't necessarily find just by playing the game. You'll have to look for secret areas and stuff. A lot of great hidden secrets and stuff too. It's just just a great game overall, even apart from all the cool stuff with the costume system and throwing your girlfriend at people. So that'll be another one to check out some other time. So yeah, that was a nice little... Why did I do that? Why did I move my microphone over there as if we're ending the stream entirely? I just wanted to move my controller. Anyways. Yeah, that's going to do it for me tonight. The stream from tonight will be up within a day or two. I haven't decided what we're going to do on the next stream. But I will say I will probably start Shining Force 3 Scenario 2 on Wednesday is the current plan. So we're going to do something maybe tomorrow. But yeah, after that is going to be Shining Force 3. So yeah, thanks to y'all for stopping by. And yeah, see you next time.